Hi, I'm Dr. John Valenza, Interim Dean of the University of Texas Dental Branch at Houston. Welcome to this special edition of V-flash. As we begin construction of our new building, we're also intensifying our efforts to expand scholarships, endowments, research, and community outreach. These goals, in addition to the new building, are at the heart of our Open to Health initiative, a multifaceted campaign to help us become the best dental school. We'll return to our regular V-flash with next month's episode, but for now, here's a look at what the Open to Health initiative is all about.
In 1905, the Texas Dental College began training generations of dental professionals in the art of healing and service to the community. When it became the University of Texas Dental Branch at Houston in 1943 and moved to a new building in 1955, two major dreams of that era were realized. Since then, the world has changed dramatically, and the dental branch must adapt and prepare for the challenges that lie ahead. That's what the Open to Health initiative is all about. We share our roadmap now to excellence and offer heartfelt thanks to those who have helped so far.
It is part of the dental branch mission, as well as education of our dental and dental hygiene and specialty students. Along with that education and research is our commitment to community outreach. When we send our students out to some of these community health clinics or on the dental van, we hope that in some cases it might take, and they might say, gosh, this is something that I really would like to do. I might like to live in a smaller town. I might like to live in a smaller community. I might like to work in public health dentistry. We want them to understand the magnitude of the problem that we see in the Houston area and in the state as far as access to care. I think that if you don't experience that personally, that sometimes it's hard for students to, or potential dentists to grasp the seriousness of the problem.
I think getting a scholarship encourages you to want to be successful so that someday you can give back a scholarship. I think that's kind of a neat thing. I know that a lot of the scholarships come from people that have some way, shape, or form been involved with the dental school in the past, and it's kind of like them saying, I did it, you can do it, I'm going to help you do it, and maybe someday you can help do it too. So it's kind of like a neat way of definitely paying it forward.
It's a new age in academia today, and the costs have increased significantly, and because of that, I think that's part of what's limiting the success of students today. Although it might not have before, now it definitely does. And so it's definitely a huge help and a boost for any student today who receives any kind of support.
I'm not sure there's any higher honor that can be bestowed on a faculty member than the creation of an endowed professorship. You know, it's just very exciting. And to also know that we had significant support from American Association of Endodontists Foundation through a matching grant to help make this a reality is it's almost like a dream come true. If we're going to recruit and retain the best possible faculty that we can have here, we're going to have to do what's necessary to attract them to Houston and to the University of Texas Dental Branch. And I think that establishing endowments is maybe the key way to do that. We're going to have to take the ball and be the leaders in that endeavor and ensure that we can attract and retain the best quality faculty.
Traditionally, salivary glands have belonged to the discipline of dentistry, and all the studies have been primarily focused on saliva and caries. But now we're looking outside the box and thinking more about using it as a diagnostic media for systemic diseases. You know, the journey or the pursuit of the Holy Grail, so to speak, is being able to get a screening test for breast cancer that is affordable by all the citizens of Texas.
One of the major areas that has received significant funding for several faculty recently is the area of bone regeneration. This is extremely important when we consider our military coming back from the Mideast and reconstructing faces. We also have faculty who have worked in the area of reconstruction from the standpoint of artificial materials to help patients who have had parts of their faces removed because they've had head and neck cancer. We're studying bacteria that cause periodontal disease and attempting to find out the ways that they use to transfer genetic information that renders them resistant to the traditional antibiotics that we use to treat certain forms of periodontal disease.
First time I heard mention of a new building was actually in an Associate Dean's meeting with then Dean Ron Johnson. And my recollection is the first time a new building was spoken was from Dr. John Ludington, because we were all sitting around at a table talking about things we wish we could do in this building, but that the building was holding us back. And I remember John saying, well, sounds like we need a new building. Until the university, until the Health Science Center got behind this, it had no future. Dr. Willerson was, and then of course my predecessor, Dr. Fleitz, who had so much to do with the TRBs. So once they got behind it, it was tremendous. I would say also the two $1 million gifts to me gave some external credibility to the project. You know, almost no matter how much money the Health Science Center has committed to us, when we had those two alums give those two major gifts, I think it made a lot of people stand up and say, wow, this really is an important project, and those really were significant gifts.
I was accepted in 1950 to study dentistry here at the University of Texas. That was then called the School of Dentistry, University of Texas School of Dentistry. The school was on Blodgett and Fannin. It was an old school, no air conditioning, windows open, hot, humid, all the Bunsen burners going, and it was a miserable existence. But I was very honored and, in retrospect, to be admitted to a profession that I have done quite well in, and I've spent 50 years in practice here in Houston. Enabled me to do a number of things that I never would have done otherwise. I think that the school has the opportunity to become a world-class institution. The facility will be first class. I think it'll be second to none internationally. We've now got to build it to be a first-class institution to match the facility.
If you really want to make a difference in someone's life, a student's life, a patient's life, a faculty member's life, maybe your own life, that we are with this building, and at this moment in time, this is an opportunity.